These are trying times, Paladin. Township is under constant siege. Without reinforcements, we will certainly face defeat. The message I now entrust to you is of utmost importance. Get this report to General Marcus Jonathan of Stormwind immediately. Once your delivery is made, return to me once with any news, be it good or bad. And make haste. Written by Magistrate Salmon, this report details the events unfolding in Redridge. My lord, war is upon us. Doom hearkens from our doorstep. As Magistrate of the Township of Lakeshire, it is my duty to report the recent military activity taking place in His Majesty's easternmost colony. Yeah, just looking at it here, the way they're talking about Lakeshire, it does come across as a frontier place, but that makes Stormwind's territory really small. It's the province it's in, and that's it. There's Duskwood, well, there's the province it's in, and Westfall. Then it has tenuous grasp on two other territories. I say tenuous grasp because in Duskwood, they've pulled back all troops from there. They're left with private the state's militia, and that's it. And then in Lakeshire, it's a colony right next to the capital. It's kind of weird. I think it's like the scale of the world is not matching the scale we see, which is for the best given that you're running around on foot. But then it gets kind of jarring, you know. Because it's like, oh, we're a colony, we're so far from Stormwind. Dude, I could walk there in half an hour. Maybe a bit longer if I decide to go get some linen. I'll, pull some crops. By that I mean the Defias throat. And I'll get some linen. Take me 45 minutes, of some auction. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. Maybe it's me. Wouldn't be surprised. Contained within these pages, you'll find an account of the state of Lakeshire, nestled within the Redridge Mountains. The loss of Stonewatch Keep was very grave. Previous reports had detailed for you the alliance between the Black Rock clan of orcs and the warlock known as. The loss of Stonewatch Keep was very grave. In previous reports I detailed for you the alliance between the Blackrock clan of orcs and the warlock known as Morganeth. The Blackrock orcs fought with horrific savagery, undoubtedly fueled by the evil magic of Morganeth. Many of His Majesty's most valiant soldiers perished trying to defend the keep, but ultimately nothing could be done. Oddly, Morganeth turned on his orcish cohorts shortly after a wretched victory. Orc constructed an arcane tower in the northeast, and has used his powers to build a small army of Shadowhide gnolls to serve as malicious biddings. Both Orc and man have fallen victim to the vicious brutes that served the warlock. As what betrayal took place between Morganeth and Gath Ilzog, the Blackrock warlord, one can only speculate at this point. To our power, the foul orcs seem more concerned with the demise of His Majesty's good citizens. In the last fortnight, the Blackrock clan staged a ruthless offensive on Lakeshire. The brave men lost their lives that grim day. The orcs' forces advanced with such speed and fury that the bridge spanning Everstill was brought to ruin. War supplies have greatly dwindled. We lack bandages to mend the wounds of the fallen. Now I ask of His Majesty to support the good people of Lakeshire in this time of need. We're in dire need of new soldiers to defend the territory as well as new instruments of war to place those lost on the battlefield. Food and building supplies run low as well. Please, my lord, help us keep the final bastion between man and the wretched orc thriving. The enemy must be kept out of the kingdom of Stormwind. I fear a greater and darker evil brewing in the cauldron of corruption that the Northlands have become. It is imperative that the kingdom of Stormwind take action lest we seek to become fitting memories to the living or slaves to the enemy. It's very verbose. I also, on a side note, I do love the title Magistrate. It's very sexy.
Can I help you? Be careful.
So much stopping and starting. Goddamn, having these straws pointing up is actually hurting my eyes. May sound silly, but it's just like a needle stabbing into my eyes or something. Obviously not as sharp as that it would actually be, but it's not a comfortable experience. It actually becomes quite hard to actually look at him. It's any point near me can set it off, but it's typically like scissors or something, you know? Something that you really don't want jabbed into your eye. Oh, 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 What have you there?
Be careful.
At ease, Paladin. Lakeshire Solomon is a noble leader. His words carry great weight with me. I shall seek the counsel of the king and make the situation clear to him. Rest assured, assure the good judge that he has the Solomons army's support. Reinforcements will be sent as soon as word is given from His Majesty.
For the Alliance.
We wait for a response from the king. I want to carry this letter to Magistrate Solomon. Dismissed, Paladin. He may not actually get support because one of the counselors is a Nixia. She's not outed yet, but one of the counselors is a Nixia. I think she may have Bolivar under her sway, or at the very least he's buying into her politically. I'm not sure how much he can do. Everyone's kind of being manipulated by her. Fucking Black Dragon is in the room engaging in mind magic. It's kind of hard to resist. Honorable Magistrate Solomon, I mourn alongside you for the dead. I shall see to it personally that the king is made aware of the situation, and it is my fondest hope I can bring reinforcements to Lakeshire. His Majesty has been scarce of late and acts rather oddly. I share this with you in confidence. Until then, General Marcus Jonathan, Kingdom of Stormwind.
Light be with you. Be careful.
In the lore, Varian gets split into two people. One of them was a kiss-ass noble, as far as I think I remember hearing. It was a kiss-ass noble. The other was like, you know, like rabid warrior. But both end up being pushed into battle, take the fight to Anixia, and end up fusing back together. I want to say something came up with Anduin, like she endangered him, and both of them just turn on her, kind of thing. I know Papa Wolf ripping her a new one. I like that. You know, parents ripping a monster, you know, or, you know, a threat. Ugh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, I thought I saw something to my side. But yeah, ripping them a horror new one. Yeah, I like it. Like, it's, you know, one was a dandy, you know, some foppish guy. I think that's the image I'm sort of getting of the other Rin. But like one of his personalities. Even he grabs a sword and tries to stab her with it, you know? He's still, you know. So, you know, that's his trigger, you know, trying to harm Anduin, you know? I haven't actually gone to read the comic myself, so I don't know exactly how to describe it, but that was just the image I started getting, though not quite the probably right words. God, that was loud. Here, let me try and find the wiki. I kind of wish they hadn't killed Varian. You or maybe I'm wrong. He did get amnesia. He escaped from Defias, but suffered memory loss, got enslaved by the Horde, and became a gladiator. He was teamed with Bearmantle and Valera, Sanguinar. The trio won a tournament in Darmal, for which Varian was given the Tauren moniker, well gosh, Ghostwolf. After escaping the slavers, he discovered he was the missing king of Stormwind, and his advisor was Anixia, and had actually manipulated Defias and Noble's dispute, was behind Varian's kidnapping, and created a duplicate of him using dark magic. Ah, so that's the reason why he's acting weirdly here. But there was actually also a plot point in the comics of him being split in two. So I was kind of thinking that was it. The evil duplicate was in fact the easily manipulatable fop, or, whatever, Just trying to find this here. You can actually find them in the game here, pre-patch 1.9.0. You can find them in Alcatraz. I'm sorry, Alcaz. Yeah, Nixia separates them into two in the comics. One got washed away, but the other didn't. Wait, Janus Chamberlain is the mother of Medivh. She did die. But when the fuck did she die? Okay, that's a... What exactly is a Chamberlain? I've heard that title thrown around plenty, but... define it. An officer who managed the household of a monarch or noble. Okay, I really want to read these comics. They seem really interesting. Hmm. Anduin's actually notices the father's off and is like probing him. Um, because like he's just like interested in pissing away the people's money. I've discovered what fell there earlier. In an earlier episode, I was like, "Ah, what fell?" Yeah, it was my bag of dental stick things. I'll go wipe it down tomorrow. But he, he's acting not himself, and they start probing into it. Uh, Someone spooked Anduin's horse, but the off variant, the non-gladiator one, saves him, and that confirms to Anduin that yeah, that is his dad. But it also starts making that variant start remembering his past, as he had no recollection of it before. But Manixie starts messing with him again when they start when he starts talking about his visions. Bolvar notices it. So yeah, one was the gladiator one was incredibly anxious to find his son when Anduin was kidnapped, but while showing incredible will in commanding his troops. The other, Varian, was calm, passive, and charming ever since ridding himself of Anixie's influence. Apparently, when he was under her influence, he lost his respect for others, and it was more of a piece of shit, I guess. I lost his respect and honor, or something. I can't remember the phrasing they had earlier. So yeah, in the comics, rather than it being an evil doppelganger, it's two variants. They like the spell got botched and they got split into two by mistake, and then one jumped into the sea to escape. The other is brought back and dominated. So whenever but he keeps like he's starting to shrug it off. He's starting to, through force of will, I guess, starting to resist it, or maybe just as diminishing returns. So so yeah, I had a different recollection of it. I thought it was different. It's kind of good part. Warrior type, and basically two flawed parts of his psyche as two separate people, but together they hone him into a much better person. They make up for each other, and put in blue, you put in red, you come out with orange. But no. Um, the reason he acted weird was because of Nixia messing with him. So yeah, it's. I think they're like in the game, it's an evil clone, an evil doppelganger, but in the comics, it's just a variant split into two, with the one that's here being messed with, and mind fucked. He's actually a fine guy if that's not being done. Sadly, my recollection of WoW lore is not perfect.
Greetings.
Did the General send news? Any reinforcements on the way?
Go with honor.
Thank you for your time, Palanai. Your service to Lakeshire and Stormwind. For your service to Lakeshire and Stormwind, I reward you with these coins. Now, if you'll excuse me, I find this correspondence somewhat of a mystery. Something is amiss in our kingdom. For this is the beginning of conflict, not the end.
For the Alliance.
Something is odd is afoot with Stormwind army. They should have been here by now. Time is a luxury we don't have, however. Let's stand by and watch the people of Lakeshire give their lives without trying to enlist more help. I've heard word of a people's militia forming in Westfall. Take this plea to the leader, Ryan Stoutmantle. Perhaps Stoutmantle's men can lend some support here until the king sends reserves. So, like, I've looked at the place. I guess at this time, the king is still meant to be there, but maybe he's meant to be the evil doppelganger of him. It's kind of annoying for them to put out cool comics and then not have them be canon.
Farewell.
I'm saying that they're not canon because they're calling him an evil doppelganger now when he was actually, it's a bit more detailed than that. Then again, they do, I think he does get called Little Gosh here and all this, so I guess it's still canon. They may have even referenced some bits of it, so it could be all canon and it's just a simplification of it, like that Blood Elf thing from before. Or maybe it's misunderstanding or whatever. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Part of me's thinking of stopping since I'm stopping and starting so much, but unless it gets much worse, I'm going to keep going until the servers go down. I'll use protection function that aren't allowed to use. No. I swear I remember it being much more aggressive previously. Like, you could find them out, in that radius and it wasn't a problem. Maybe it's a problem now because Blizzard hates fun. Oh, 2 points. Vindication is so fucking tempting. Because I just hit an enemy and they can now hit me less. I missed the later on Vindication that came in like Wrath, where I hit them and knock off 10% of their hit points. Also, remember my Pandaria run where I have a huge cart thing of hand gel, it fell on the ground and so I stood it up to one side, but stressed about it for the whole time. Now that I know my 2 picks fell, I'm going to stress about them the whole time. It's fun, ain't it? I could go down and deal with it, but Pip is down there. I've talked about it before. If she decides this morning, it's everyone's problem, and I don't want to deal with that.
Well met.
Stormwind's assertion shall not be forgiven by the people of Westfall.
Be careful.
Yo, Paladin, what business do you have with the people's
Light
militia?
lightning.
Lord Stalmantle, Township of Lakeshire humbly requests the aid of your militia. As I write this, we find ourselves under siege from both the Blackrock Orcs and Morganet's Shadowhide Gnolls. I'm not sent bidding if our situation was not severe. We wait aid from Stormwind, but until such help arrives, I beg of you to lend support. Once the kingdom is breached, all of humanity is in peril.
Need help? Or the Alliance? Go with honor, friend. Well met. Light bless you.
Hail, Paladin, what business do you have with the people's militia?
Be careful.
Good messenger, you've served your master well.
Or the Alliance.
Magistrate Solomon's note pains me to read, but it is obvious he knows not the war which is waged in Westfall, or else he know better than to expect aid from the militia. Stormwind had not deserted us as well. We do not need for the militia. Take this response to your master in Redridge. Let him know that my heart is heavy with the loss of good
Go
men.
with honor, friend.
Your Honor, all of Westfall mourns for your loss, but we're plagued with our own war in Westfall. The farmers have been run off by thieves and mechanical golems. Stormwind withdrew its troops, leaving the people defenseless. I mustered people's militia in wake of Stormwind's abandonment to save all remains of this land. Taking militia to Redwood would mean certain doom for Westfall. My regrets, Grain Stoutmantle. To be honest, I feel that more should have been done to change zones between Classic and Kata. It's nice for the callbacks, but, like... like, Stormwind still isn't helping out Westfall. You know, Redridge is still fucked, and Stormwind isn't helping out over there. You know? Varian is back in control. Why is still things the same as when Evil Clone / Dominated Clone Varian was in there? Evil Doppelganger / Dominated Clone Varian was in control. But yeah, I can't believe Medivh's mom became Jaina's Chamberlain. Those are some credentials. If you, like, Medivh's mom was one of the most powerful human sorceresses ever. She was a guardian of Terrasville. That's a hereditary title that comes with a huge endowment of power. Sorry, that's not a hereditary title. That's an earnable title that comes with a huge endowment of power. You already have to be an incredibly powerful mage to get that title, but by becoming a guardian of Terrasville, you get a huge vault of power given to you. And you're even more of a juggernaut for it. Like, having hers, even post her tenure as guardian, serve as your chamberlain, those are some credentials. You know, her presence gives prestige, depending on how well known her office is. I'm not sure how well known the Guardians of Terrasville were. It's, you know, probably relatively secret, but I'm sure some people, you know, high up people would know of them. So having an ex-Guardian Terroristful as your Chamberlain, you know, that's not something everyone can boast about. The dwarves of Ironforge Mountain lived in peace for many long centuries, wherever their society grew too large within confines of their mountain cities. Though the mighty High King Modimus Anvilmar ruled over all dwarves with justice and wisdom, three powerful factions had arisen amongst the dwarven society. The Bronzebeard clan, ruled by Tain Madaran Bronzebeard, had close ties to the High King and stood as the traditional defenders of Ironforge Mountain. The Waldhammer clan, ruled by Tain Cardanos, Cardos, Cardros, Wildhammer, inhabited foothills and crags around the Basin Mountain and sought to gain more control within the city. Third faction, the Dark Iron clan, was ruled by sorcerer Tain Tesurian. The Dark Irons hid within the deepest shadows under the mountain and plotted against both their Bronzebeard and Wildhammer cousins. For a time, the three factions kept a tenuous peace, but tensions erupted when High King Anvilmar passed away from old age. The three ruling clans went to war for control of Ironforge itself. War civil war raged under the earth for many years. Eventually, the Bronzebeards, who had the largest standing army, banished the Dark Irons and Wildhammers from under the mountain. Cardros and his Wildhammer warriors travelled north through the barrier gates of Dun al-Gaz, and they founded their own kingdom within the distant peak of Grim Patol. There, the Wildhammers thrived and rebuilt their stores of treasure. The Saurian and his Dark Irons did not fare as well. Humiliated and enraged by their defeat, they vowed revenge against Ironforge. Leading his people to the far to the south, the Saurian founded a city, which he named after himself, within the beautiful Red Ridge Mountains. Prosperity and the passing of years did little to ease Dark Iron rancor towards their cousins. The Saurian and his sorcerer's wife, Modgud, launched a two-pronged assault against both Ironforge and Grim Batol. The Dark Irons were intent on claiming all of Khaz-Modan for their own. The Dark Iron army smashed against their cousins' strongholds and very nearly took both kingdoms. However, Madaran Bronzebeard ultimately led his clan to decisive victory over Tesurian's sorcerer's army. The Saurian and his servants fled back to the safety of their city, unaware of the events transpiring at Grim Batol, where Modgud's army would fare no better against Kadros and his Wildhammer warriors. As she confronted the enemy warriors, Modgud used her powers to strike fear into their hearts. Shadows moved at her command, and dark things crawled up from the depths of the earth to stalk the Wildhammers in their own halls. Eventually, Modgud broke through the gates and laid siege to the fortress itself. Wildhammers fought desperately, Kadros himself wading through the roiling masses to slay the sorceress queen. With their queen lost, the Dark Irons fled before the fury of the Wildhammers. They raced south towards their king's stronghold, only to meet the armies of Ironforge, which had come to aid Grim Batol. Crushed between the two armies, the remaining Dark Iron forces were utterly destroyed. The combined armies of Ironforge and Grim Batol then turned south, intent on destroying Tesurian and his Dark Irons once and for all. They had not gone far when Tesurian's fury resulted in a spell of cataclysmic proportions. 1 second. 1, 2. Seeking to summon a supernatural minion that would ensure his victory, the Saurian called upon the ancient power sleeping beneath the world. To his shock, and ultimately his doom, the creature that had emerged was more terrible than any nightmare he could have imagined. Ragnaros, the Fire Lord, immortal lord of all fire elementals, had been banished by the Titans when the world was young. Now freed by Tesurian's call, Ragnaros erupted into being once again. Ragnaros' apocalyptic rebirth into Azeroth shattered the Red Ridge Mountains and created a raging volcano at the center of the devastation. The volcano, known as Black Rock Mountain, was bordered by the searing gorge to the north and the burning steeps to the south. Though Tesurian was killed by the forces he had unleashed, his surviving brethren were ultimately enslaved by Ragnaros and his elementals. They remain within the depths of Black Rock to this day. Witnessing the horrific devastation and the fire spreading across the southern mountains, King Madaran and King Cardros halted their armies and hastily turned back towards their kingdoms, unwilling to face the awesome wrath of Ragnaros. The Bronzebeards returned to Ironforge and rebuilt their glorious city. The Wildhammers also returned home to Grimbatal. However, the death of Modgood left an evil stain on the mountain fortress. The Wildhammers found it uninhabitable. They were bitter in their hearts over the loss of their beloved home. King Bronzebeard offered the Wildhammers a place to live within the borders of Ironforge, but the Wildhammers steadfastly refused. Gardros took his people north towards the lands of Lordaeron. Settling within the lush forests of the hinterlands, the Wildhammers crafted the city of Airy Peak, where the Wildhammers grew closer to nature and even bonded with the mighty griffins of the area. Seeking to retain relations and trade with their cousins, the dwarves of Ironforge constructed two massive arches, the Tandal Span, that bridged the gap between Casmodan and Lordaeron. Bolstered by mutual trade, the two kingdoms prospered. After the deaths of Modaran and Cardros, their sons jointly commissioned two great statues in honor of their fathers. The two statues would stand guard over the pass into the Southlands, which had become volcanic in the wake of Ragnaros' scorching presence. They served as both a warning to all who had attacked the dwarven kingdoms, as a reminder of what price the Dark Irons paid for their crimes. The two kingdoms retained close ties for some years. Wildhammers were much changed by the horrors they witnessed in Grimbatal. They took to living above ground, on the slopes of Airy Peak, instead of carving a vast kingdom within the mountain. The ideological differences between the two remaining dwarven clans eventually led to the parting of ways. They've seen some shit below the earth. And since this comes right after Warcraft 3, the implication in people's minds will be in Grimbatal, there is a forgotten one. There's a faceless one. And actually there is one in Kata, but you don't really face many of them. There's just the one dude corrupting eggs. So, but that's the image it's meant to evoke here. Or there's something worse down there, something else.
What can I do for you?
Should we... And like there was a kind of a cartoon like fuck in Warcraft 3. It was just a generic faceless one, forgotten one, which you never see again. It had very much an old god vibe to it, and the old gods are built different in WoW than in Warcraft 3. So, shall we expect the people's militia soon? Does Lord Telmantle's news bodes well? I do say this is not good at all. Did not realize Telmantle's situation was not unlike ours here in Lakeshire. What action is so important that it calls the Stormwind army away from its people? I should not ponder aloud. Here, messenger. Accept these coins in exchange for your service to township. I call upon you again. I require your assistance once again. Written to Lord Ebonhotlock, requesting that he sends his trained guards to Night Watch to help with Lakeshire's defense. Imperative this message makes it to him swiftly. Must exercise extreme caution. Ebonhotlock is the mayor of Darkshire in the heart of Duskwood. Do not stray from the roads. Trust me, you shouldn't even stay on the roads. You're fucked wherever you go. Well, again, we'll keep playing up this shutdown. Yeah, and this game is a little clunky, trying to play with a controller, but it's not too bad. Felt a little messy earlier, but it was serviceable.
See you around.
Part of me thinks I should cut out all of my readings of those books and make them into separate episodes, kind of like what I've been doing with like Cyberpunk and stuff like that. Do readings. Could be of interest. How much have I stopped and started? I really don't want to say. A bit. I'm on my 11th segment now. I've been going for over 2 hours. Got more time recorded than I thought I would. My math was off earlier, I guess.
Good day to you.
Need help?
In Legion, like Ebonlock down here, and most of Night's Watch go evil, and you have to kill them. But that one daughter I was pointing out before, took up issue with her going bad, and so she was left out because she loves the man who her father was. You know, he's her hero. She wouldn't. She would want to, you know, do him proud. Like, she loves the noble knight or paladin that he was. You know, she would want to do him proud, so she wouldn't join such an organization. But that kind of, I'm not sure if there's any follow up as to what happens with Darkshire. You know, it's now without its lord. It's now without its night watch. There's just one chick left. There's just one broad left. You know, that's not one person does not a night watch make unless they're doom guy. You know. So, another book. But of the Lich King. Wah, wah. But yeah.
What can I do for you? You need something? King's honor, friend.
Hello. But that was terrible. But I wonder if there's any follow up to that, any conclusion to what's going to happen with Darkshire. Blizzard has a tendency of leaving hanging plot threads and never wrapping them up, or just forgetting about them or retconning them out. Or Kakata with the kidnapped elemental water lord, they just dropped the idea of the raid and it's like, yeah, someone else saved them off screen. It's like, fuck you. Ugh. So it's just obnoxious. You appear to have travelled from afar, Paladin. What business do you have here in Darkshire?
Be careful.
Thank you for making...
Light bless you.
The township of Lakeshire humbly requests aid of the Night Watch. We are under siege from both the Blackrock Orcs and Morganeth's Shadowhide Gnolls. I will not send bidding if the situation was not severe.
Light be with you.
It's same as the other guy.
Be careful.
Thank you for making the long journey here. This is indeed important information.
For the Alliance.
If I do not know Magistrate Solomon personally, I would say the man has gone mad. Send the Night Watch to Lakeshire because Stormwind refuses aid. Night Watch was formed because Stormwind left us when this foul magic seeped into the land. If I send my Night Watch, the town will be overrun by evil before the guards even reach the fort's edge.
Go with honor, friend.
Your Honor, I regret to inform you that the Night Watch is unable to leave its post in Darkshire at this time. Perhaps you are unaware that Stormwind no longer provides military support in this region. Night Watch has been formed and trained entirely by the people of the forest in order to defend Darkshire in Stormwind's absence. Without the Watch, the town would fall. I wish you luck with your plight.
Hey there. Have a good one.
I like Darkshire, Duskwood. I love, creepy atmospheres, grim and macabre. I like that shit. Duskwood, Terraceville Glades, they're great areas. Pre-Cata. I dislike the Cata revamps. We'll see you down here soon enough. Oh, right. Have to check that remember the section where I ended up playing with the guy? I have to go check that. A real ID came across the screen, and I should remove that. I actually did on that someone way back when, because they were in real ID, and figuring the wouldn't want their full name in a video. Or did I on that? Maybe I contemplated it but never did it, because I think I still see their real name on my thing, so which is possible to prevent real ID names popping up. Don't seem to be able to.
Greetings.
Ah, good to see you back, messenger. Shall I inform the marshal the night watch is on its way from Darkshire?
Light bless you.
What a light. Stormwind army retreat from Westfall, and the guard no longer protects Darkshire. There is some treachery abound. How could this be so? Oh, I forgot to reward your service, Paladin. Here are some coins. Now, excuse me. Something is amiss in Stormwind, and I must get to the bottom of
The
it.
Alliance.
So, this has been some more season of discovery. Thanks to a helpful rogue, I've been able to get another room, and I've completed a group quest. There's still a bit more to do here. From what that other guy had been posting earlier, 3 more group quests. But there's other stuff beyond that. Certainly, that elite area over there is looking fucking terrifying. I'm not looking forward to that. I may just have to corpse run in or something. I would love to get into a guild and get them to help, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, I sincerely hope you've enjoyed. Till then. Oh, if you like my stuff, give the video a like. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. If you want to be notified to hell and back, I mean literally probably being driven to hell, tick that bell. I can upload up above 5 videos a day. So if you want lots of notifications for some reason, then you'll get them. It's a varied amount, but you'll get them. I actually honestly recommend almost not ringing that bell, especially if you've set to your phone or something. You don't want all those notifications. You really don't. You really bloody don't. Especially not for during Halloween. Well, we don't really have much planned for this Halloween, but if there's an event going on where I'm uploading multiple extra episodes on top of the normal amount every day. Sorry, I keep thinking I see a midget fighting around here. You know, the bog midge. We call them midgets here. Tiny little insects. Some of them bite and drain blood, apparently, but they just kind of float around in the air and are not obnoxious. Yeah, I keep thinking I see one moving, but I think it's just like maybe a bit on my glasses or my fear of them. You know, like in the corner of my eye. It's like, there's one. But yeah, I honestly recommend not using the bell. You'll be hounded. You'll be driven mad. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. It all helps me out. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy. And I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe. It all makes me feel warm and fuzzy. And it will help the channel do better. If the channel does better, then more people will see it, and you know, it might spiral from there. It'd certainly be nice. Would certainly be nice. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say. Like, if you liked the video, give it a like. If you disliked it, fine, give it a dislike. If you want to see more, subscribe. Comment if there's anything you want to say. If you're commenting on something in general, that's fine. But if you're commenting on a particular point, you may want to include a timestamp. I don't think there's anything else. Till next time, folks. I do hope you enjoyed. Till then.